Hi, everybody. It's Ms.Salazar, and welcome to Health Class. Today is February 18, 2021, and the topic for today is Stay Safe When You Are Lost. Now, I know that this might seem sort of a lame topic, but it really is important for you guys to know what to do when you get lost, and it's also really important for you guys to know certain information when you get lost so you know what to do and what not to do. Now, this is a reading that I have in my textbook, and it's called Just Like That Stay Safe When You Are Lost. So let's see. It says, have you ever been to the zoo or a busy store? It's easy to get lost in a crowd. Stay where you are if you get lost. Your parent or guardian may be looking for you. So that is clue number one. When you get lost, stay where you are. Don't go out looking for your parents because your parents are probably going to be looking for you and they're going to come back to the place where they last saw you. So that's why you have to stay there. Now let's see. It also says if you see a police officer, tell him or her you are lost. Ask for help. People who work in the store can help find your parent or guardian. Clue number two, ask for help, okay? You can look for a police officer, a security guard, or someone who works at the store to help you. But if you're not at the store or if you're at a mall, you can look for someone who works there at the mall. You can go to any one of the stores and ask for help. If you're at the zoo, you can also ask for help to someone who works there at the zoo, but you can still sort of stay in that area where you got lost in the first place, right? So let's see. Over here, it says, here are some things you can do to keep from getting lost. And we have three bullets. So, bullet number one, stay near your parents or guardian. Bullet number two, do not run ahead. If you are ahead, stop and wait until your parent or guardian catches up. So, that's the thing. When you're playing around with, let's say, your brother or your sister, right? And you're running ahead of your parents, you might get lost. And then when you look back, you might not see them. And I think that's happened to one of you guys. Well, I know it's happened to me when I was your age, right? So that's why it's important not to run ahead. And then bullet number three, it says, choose a meeting place in case you get separated. And this is actually a really smart move. So if your parents and yourself and your brother or your sister, you guys are going to go to the zoo, to the mall, or you're going to go to a very crowded place, it's important for you guys to um talk about a meeting place just in case someone gets lost. So if you get lost, if your brother or your sister gets lost, right? If you can't find each other, go to that meeting place. So that's actually a very smart move, and you guys can talk about that. So whenever you go to a crowded place, talk about a meeting place. If you guys get lost, everybody meets up to that place. Everybody meets there. Now let's see what to do if you get lost. So, number one, stay where you get lost, right? Stay where you got lost in case your parent comes back. Number two, look for an adult that you can trust and ask for help, like a police officer, a security guard, maybe someone who works at the store, or maybe someone who works at the zoo or at the mall. It really just depends on where you are. If you're at the park, you can also ask for help to another adult, like someone else's mom or something like that. But sort of stay there in that area where you got lost. Don't run away, like don't go too far just in case your parents come back, okay? And then number 3, remember your full name, your parents' names, and phone number. This is actually really, really important because if you get lost and you're talking to an adult, let's say that you're talking to a police officer, the police officer is going to ask for your full name. You need to know your first name and your last name. The police officer is always going to ask you for your parents' names. Like, what is your mom's name? What is your dad's name? And you need to know that. And you should also know your phone number, your mom's phone number or your dad's phone number. Now, if you want to go like even extra, if you want to do something extra, then remember the address, remember where you live. So those are things that you should remember. Those are things that you should do. Number one, stay near where you got lost in case your parent comes back. Number two, look for an adult you can trust for help, like a police officer, a security guard, someone who works at the store, or maybe if you're at the park, you can ask for help to another mom, right? It really just depends on where you are. And then rule number three, this is the information that you should always remember. You should always remember your full name. That means your first name and your last name, your parents' names, right? And the phone number. So if you give the police officer your parents' phone number, he's going to call your parents and then they can pick you up. So that's why it's important for you guys to remember your parents' phone number. And then, of course, if you want to, go a little extra, then you can remember your address where you live. Now, let's see. What can you do before going to crowded places? What can you do before going to crowded places? If you're going to go to the park or if you're going to go to a basketball game, what can you do before going to crowded places? Remember what we said about a meeting place? So choose a meeting place in case you get separated. Always, okay? This is just for safety. Now, this is going to be your assessment. You're going to send this to LMS in PDF. It is worth 5 points, and you have until the 24th to send this. Now, it says this child is lost. Write what the child should do. Write who could help this child. So imagine that you are this kid, right? And let's say that you're at a basketball game and your parents, let's say that they were going to go buy some hot dogs and some popcorn, and then you never saw them again. And you sort of got lost. You don't know where they are. So what would you do? And then you're going to write your answer here on the blank lines. And remember, who would you ask for help? Who? So by looking at the people around you, who would you ask for help? And you're going to write that too. If you guys have any questions, let me know. Bye, everybody.